Okay, today we're going to do some hands-on dividing using base 10 blocks. I have virtual base 10 blocks for us to play with. Okay, so first things first, with your groups, you're going to work on the problem of the day. It says John is thinking of a number between 20 and 60 that is divisible by 3, 6, and 9, as well as other numbers. The digit in the ones place is twice the digit in the tens place. What number is he thinking of? So with your groups, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to work on this. Write it on your whiteboards and have it ready to present to the class with your reasoning. Okay, Williamson, explain to me how you guys got your answer and what your answer is.
I got 36 because it said the number in the ones place is twice the size of the number in the tens.
So why didn't you just pick 24?
Because it didn't say it was 36.
So Xavier, why is it 36 and not 24?
Because if you multiply it, it's 2 times 3, which is 6 twice.
Well, 2 times 2 is 4, so 24 would give you the same, right? I think you guys are missing a big part of the question. Yes.
Because 24 times 4 is 9.
So if we look, it says it has to be divisible by 3, 6, and 9, as well as other numbers. So there are only a short list of numbers that we could have used because of the reason that they were saying that the ones place has to be, the ones place is twice as much as the tens place. So between 20 and 60, the only numbers that would work are 24, 36, and 48. Okay? No number in the 50s will work because there's no way to make a number that's in the ones place twice the amount of 5 because you can't put 10 in the ones place. So no 50s. Okay? Then all we have to do is take a look at these 3 numbers and say, okay, which one's divisible by 3? They're all divisible by 3. So that doesn't help me. Which one's divisible by 6? They all are. Which one's divisible by 9? Only 36 is. Okay? So there you go. Alright. Now this is all going to be in your textbook from here on out. So make sure that you're taking notes. Use your whiteboards to follow along. We're going to do some stuff with some base 10 blocks and division. Right now, it says Gary is saving up to buy a trumpet for a band that costs $156. Suppose he saves the same amount each month for 12 months. How much money does he need to save each month? So we're going to find 156 divided by 12. We want to use base 10 blocks for the quotient. So the first thing that we need to do is use base 10 blocks to represent our dividend. Okay? So you can see here, there's a 1 in the hundreds place, so I have one set of hundreds. There's a 5 in the tens place, so I have 5 sets of 10. There is a 6 in the ones place, so I have 6 ones. So I've used my base 10 blocks to create the number 156. Okay? Once I've done that, I am then going to look at how I can separate it into 12 groups. Now, I only had one 100 block. I can't separate that into 12 groups. So what I had to do is bust up my 100 block into tens, which is going to give me how many tens am I going to have here? 10 tens. So I already had how many? 5. So how many tens do I have total?
15.
I have 15 now. Now, just by looking at that, I know that I'm going to be able to separate my tens into 12 equal groups. Okay, because I have more than 12, so now I can separate my tens. Okay? So that's what I'm doing here. So now I have to go 12 groups. So here's one group, two groups, three groups, four groups, five groups, six groups, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So how many tens are in each one of my 12 groups?
One.
There's 1 10 in each one of my 12 groups. Now I do have some tens that are left over, but there's not enough to separate into groups. Okay? Now just like I did with my 100, well, first of all, how many tens are left over?
3.
So there are 3 tens, and how many ones do I still have? I still have the 6 ones because I haven't got it up there yet. Now, because there are not enough tens here to separate into 12 groups, what am I going to do with my tens?
Put them into ones.
I'm going to break my tens up into ones. So how many ones am I going to end up having?
36.
36. Very good. So right here we can see we took our 3 tens and our 6 ones, and we broke them up into 1, 2, 3 groups, and the total number of groups will equal 36. So I have 3 groups. I'm sorry. Let me back up. We broke them up into 12 groups. So if you count across the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 groups. Started going backwards. So if I circle all my groups just like I did with my tens on the last page, you can see how many ones are there going to be in each group. How many ones are in each group?
3.
So we have a total. How many ones were there total?
36.
36. So we have 36 ones. So how many are in each group? You just told me? 3. So each group contains how many tens? 1 10. And how many ones?
3.
So if you have 1 10 and 3 ones, your answer is 13. So, and it's dollars. All right. So Gary needs to save $13 each month. With your whiteboards, I want you to check and make sure. So we're going to use multiplication. 13 times 12 equals 156. Make sure that 13 times 12 equals 156. Okay, it's fantastic. 12 times 13 is 156, so we checked our answer. Our answer is correct. Now, we're going to discuss our activity a little bit. The first thing we started by placing 1 10 in each group. Now, a 10 was the biggest base 10 block that we used, right? Now, because we used a 10 as our biggest base 10 block, what place value was the first digit of our quotient going to be put in? What place value? Think about it. What place value was the first digit of our quotient going to be put in? Yes. The tens. Because we had 1 10 in each group, the place value of our first digit is the tens place. So what if we had 100 block in each group, where would our first digit be placed? Gibby? In the hundreds place. Very true. All right. So the largest base 10 set that you have, whether it's thousands, hundreds, tens, ones, that's where your first digit's going to be placed. Okay. So if we have groups and our groups only have ones in them, where's our digit going to be placed for our quotient? In the ones. All right. So now, what would happen if the cost of the trumpet was $168? Would the amount to save each month increase or decrease? Well, first of all, how much was it that we were trying to save in the first place? How much were we trying to save, Parker? How much money do we want to save total, Parker, to begin with? Okay, so we started off wanting to save $156. Now they're telling us, well, what would happen if you wanted to save $168? Would the amount that you saved each month increase or decrease?
Increase.
Why would it increase? Devin?
168 is higher than 156.
Because the amount of money increased, right? Did the amount of time increase?
No.
No. So we have an increase in dollars, but not in time. So it's still 12 months, right? So the only way that you can end up with more money at the end of the same amount of time is to increase the amount that you save. Okay? Now I can tell you that this is $12 more. So if it's $12 more, how much more per month are they going to have to save? How much?
1.
They're going to have to save $1 more a month. Okay? Very good. Yes, sir. Good. Okay, now we're going to justify our conclusion. Just a second ago, I talked about a change in the dollar amount. They increased the dollar amount. If they increase the dollar amount, you have to increase the amount that you save each month. It's the only way that you can end up with more money. Now, they're going to ask us, suppose Gary chose to save $156 for 13 months instead of 12 months. Now, what's going to happen to the amount that he's going to save per month? Is this going to increase or decrease? Now, here's the key. They want us to explain our answer. Okay? So with your groups right now, you're going to determine whether this is going to increase or decrease, and you're going to explain to me why. Okay? All right, I'll give you some time to work on it. Okay, let's hear from Zoe's group. Who's going to talk? Imagine that. Nobody else wants to volunteer to speak. You have it written down in front. Pick someone to talk quickly. Alright. Denise?
My group and I think it would decrease because the amount of months is longer than 12.
Alright. Because you have more time, you can take less money per month in order to reach the same number. She is correct. Okay? So, in this case, $156 for 3 months. It's going to end up being $12 a month instead of the original 13. Because 13, well, look, 13 times 12 equals 156. We did this on our whiteboards, right? Correct? Now, this was the months, and this was the dollar amount per month. Now we're saying we're going to go to 13 months. Well, we already know that if we go 13 months, $13 times 12 is 156. So if we change this to the months, this becomes a dollar amount, which it's less than the 13 that we started with. Very good. Now, we're going to use models to find quotients and draw equal groups. Just like we did, we're going to start off by creating a model of our dividend, and then we're going to break up our dividend into groups based on our divisors. So in this case, we have 117 divided by 3. So I'll write our problem up here. 117 divided by 3. Okay? So I need 100, 110, and 7 ones. It's not 3, I'm sorry, it's 13, huh? 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I have a small problem. I need to break them up into how many groups?
13.
I need 13 groups, right? Is there a way to take this 100 block and break it into 13 groups? No. So the first thing I'm going to do is break up my 100. So I'm going to get rid of this 100 and I'm going to bring 10 more 10s down. Okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one just made me mad because I resized it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight. Nine. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many 10s do I have total now?
10.
Well, I have 10 here, but what about?
11.
I have 11 total. Can I break 11 10s into 13 groups?
No.
So what am I going to have to do with my 10s?
Break them into ones.
I'm going to have to break them into ones. Okay, so we're going to go back to our other page right now. We know that all these 10s have to be broken into ones, right? So what we're going to do is instead of trying to figure out how we're going to do all, we're just going to go ahead and make 13 groups of 1. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we need one more. 13 groups, right? So we have 13 groups of 1. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start building on our groups, okay? So, now we have 13 groups of 2. How many total do we have? We have 26. Very good. So now I'm going to do it again. So now I have 13 groups of 13 groups of 3. Or how many total? 39. Thirteen groups of 4, which is how many? 13 groups of 4.
52.
52. Now, I know that I need 117, right? What's 52 times 2? 104. So if I know that right here, my 4 groups gave me 52, right? So if I double it, how many do I have now? 104, right? Now, I know that I need more than 104. So now we're going to keep track every time we add one to the group. So I just added 13 more. So 104 plus 13 is?
117.
And how many am I looking for?
117.
Okay. So each one of these rows is a group. And if I circle them all, you're going to see I have 13 groups. Yeah. Okay? Now, how many of you have already figured out how many I have in each group? Let's think about this for a second. Do we have any 10s? No. So I know that this is going to be less than, it has to be less than 10. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So how many do I have in each group? 9. So there's my answer. Yes, you have to draw this out. I do have an option B for you if you would like to take option B.
Yes.
Okay. Option B is if you go to our class website for our math. So if you go to our classroom website, if you click on your online textbook and log in the student edition, which you have access to from home, using your first name, last name, 001 or 002, some of you, and then capital first initial, lowercase last initial, and then your 1500, your student ID number, you can log into this at home. If you go to resources in here it says tools. In your tools is a virtual manipulative, which looks like this. If you click on manipulatives, it says base 10 blocks. So our next problem we will do on these so you can see it. Our next problem for our base 10 is 136 divided by 17. Okay? So I have 100, right? Now I need 30. 3. There's 30. And I need 6. So now I have 6. Okay? Now I'm working on the problem that I'm working on is 136 divided by 17. Okay, so it's 136 divided by 17. Now, can I separate? Do I have enough hundreds in order to make 17 groups? No, I don't. Do I have enough? So what I have to do is I have to break up the hundreds. Now, if you tap it down here in the bottom left-hand corner, it'll break it up for you. As long as you have your cursor selected. So it breaks it up for you. Okay? Now, how many 10s do I have? Oh, look at that. I messed up. No, I had, when I broke up the 100, it gave me 10 more, but how many do I have?
12.
I have 13 hundreds, 13 tens, sorry. Okay? And then I still have my 6 ones down here, right? Okay? So don't forget about your 6 ones. So now, it's kind of cool because the way that they do this, I need 17 groups. Well, if I bust these up, if I just hit the bottom corner again, let me delete my little mark. Okay? If I touch the bottom corner again, it's going to give me 10 ones. 10 ones. See? Okay? And so that's going to give me 10 groups of 10. All right? But what I want to do is move this down here, because how many groups do I need? I need 17, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this in half right now. Just because I know I need 17 groups. So there's 10s. Break those up. I need 3 of these gone in order to have actually 17. So I'll put 3 of them up there. And I'm going to do the same thing for each of these. Every time I break them up, I'm going to move 3. 17. You guys, you see what I'm doing over here at the end? How I'm putting them in 17 groups? Okay. I'm lining them up with the ones that I already have there. Okay. So now when I break this one up, there's 10. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put, I need 7 down here on the bottom. Okay. And then I have to start again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to take one of these out up here. and I'm working over. 2, 3, and I'm working over. 1, 2, oh, that one stays. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So now I'm going to count real quick and make sure I have 17 in each one of these groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I do, with one exception. I have all these left over here, right? So those aren't really part of my groups. So what I want to do is, this is a group, this is a group, this is a group, I think it would be faster if you guys wrote it, but this will definitely be more fun because you can go online, and I'll show you here in a second what you can do. Because you're all probably saying, well, how are you going to know that we did that? So I have 10 groups there, right? Okay, so there's 10 groups. Now, I have 7 more groups down here, and I know these ones aren't really lined up too well, but that's the joys of circling, is you can 2, 3.
What's that big hand?
4. Oh, I missed that one. 5. 6. Now, does anybody see what I did? I messed up. Yep. No, not the cricket part. How many do I have up here? I have 7 of them up there. Alright, so this is our online manipulatives. Look. See how I missed a whole row right here? Yeah, so these 7 should have been down here. So I messed up. So. Okay. So if you don't want to sit at home and draw circles or squares, you can do this and use your online manipulatives out of your math book. Log in on the website. Okay. So there we go. Now if we look at our groups, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in this group. Down here on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all of our groups have how many in them? 8. Is there any left over? No. So our answer to our math problem, 136 divided by 17 equals 8. Okay. So right here. Now, what we were just looking at, in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little printer. Sorry, right-hand corner. I'm going to turn facing you guys. If you click on that print thing, it'll print this out for you. So if you want to use the online manipulatives in your math book and then just print them out for the questions that you did, you can do that, and that'll show me that you did your work.
Okay.
Okay? Yes?
I don't have a printer in my house.
You can put them in your math book then. Or you can take a screenshot and email it to me or whatever. Okay? Alright. Now, we did 4 and 5. What I'm going to be looking for tomorrow from you is that you finish to number 12. Okay? finish the number 12 tonight. Alright, you guys have about 10 minutes. Our band people, it's 11:15. So you can go ahead and get going. Okay, you guys should be working on this.